Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Whitney. I'm the Vice Chair of the Concord Historic Districts Commission. Welcome to the September 10th, 2025 meeting of the Town of Concord Historic Districts Commission. The Commission will review one continued application and 7, I believe, new applications. We are conducting this meeting online in accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. The public may access this call through both telephone and video conferencing. Members of the public will have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on applications and discussions following petitioners' presentation and questions from the Commission. To do so, please raise your hand in the participant function of the Zoom meeting platform. If you are calling in and cannot use the platform, you may raise your hand by dialing *9. Our host will mute microphones of those not speaking, and in order to preserve bandwidth, may need to turn off video as well, with the exception of the commissioners, the host, and the current applicant. The chair will call on commissioners for comments on an application and then open the meeting for public comment. Once there are no more public comments, I will ask for a motion for the commission to continue, to approve with conditions, or to reject. There will be a second, and then I will conduct a roll call vote. Once the commission has acted on an application, the applicant is free to leave the meeting. I will now do a roll call of attendees. Walter?
Here.
Kristen?
Here.
Dennis?
Here.
Louis?
Here.
Bill?
Here.
And myself, Tim Whitney. The voting members will be...
Tim, I'm also here. Catherine?
Catherine, thank you.
Sure.
Dennis, did I call on you?
You did.
Thank you. Okay, the voting members tonight will be Catherine Mast, Walter Clay, Dennis Fiore, Bill Hewitt, and myself. So we'll start with the continued public hearing, of which there was a site visit this morning as well, for 201 Lexington Road to construct a sauna inside a new shed and construct a plunge pool. As Mr. Robert Young, I see you here. Would you like to continue the story, if you will? And you are muted at the moment. Still muted.
Okay, there we go. That work?
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. So, so we met this morning, and our primary objective this morning was to determine the extent to which the sauna is viewable from the sidewalk. And we demonstrated that in the current situation that it is. However, we proposed to install a few arborvitae trees as a screen on the left side of the driveway as you look up the driveway. And by doing that, it would completely obscure the sauna from the sidewalk. We have on this plan here, those 3 trees shown on the left there. This morning we were standing on the sidewalk just to the left of the driveway, and we could see the left side of the sauna. And we have 3 stakes in the ground shown in a picture that shows where those trees are going to go. And the height of those would be in the either 7 to 8 foot or 8 to 10 foot category, depending upon whatever's needed to obscure it. The height of the sauna would be decreased from its current height of 9'3" to about 8 feet. We don't need to have it quite as high as the what we've shown. We built a mock-up showing the height of it. So it'll be a little bit less than that. So it's our expectation then, or our hope that if the sauna is completely obscured, then the details of the design would be less relevant in this discussion. So
Are
that's where we are.
the details that you show in the photograph, is that what the sauna is going to look like?
That's our intent. If people object to that, and if there's any particular component to the design that's not acceptable, we're certainly willing to consider alternative, some modifications to the design. But it's our expectation that since it's going to be completely obscured anyway, that the details of the design become essentially irrelevant.
And could we go back just to the site plan? If we could, Kim or whoever's controlling that. So those are the 3 plantings that have been added since the last presentation of the 3 right at the lower left. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, nothing else has changed on this site plan. Is that right?
The only other thing is that we've decreased the height of the structure by a little over a foot.
Right. Okay, thank you. Any other comments, Mr. Young, or can we open up for discussion?
Just that those 3 stakes right there show and you can see the structure in the background right there. And those 3 stakes show where the arborvitae trees would go.
So you set up that mock-up to show how high it is.
Correct. But that
Okay.
mock-up is at 9'3", and the sauna, we would actually build it at 8 feet.
Okay. I appreciate your thoroughness on building that type of mock-up. That really helps.
Sure.
I'd like to open it up to commissioner comments.
I would say, Tim, just as someone who was at the site visit this morning, that it's pretty clear that the arborvitae would obscure the view of the sauna completely.
I was just looking at the plan and using my pen to understand the sight lines between the sauna and the street and the arborvitaes on the 2 collections of them. And I think it would be totally covered.
Yeah.
Depends on the height of the new ones.
I was there this morning as well, and at the last meeting, I was the one, I think, who really wanted to have a site visit to clarify this. And I feel like it was absolutely clarified. And those arborvitae, assuming that they are maintained, and as the agreement would be, should entirely block everything now. The existing ones need to be maintained as well, but if that's the case, then nothing will be visible in the hopefully never happening circumstance where the arborvitae disappear. Mr. Young, as you were hinting this morning, we would just hope that you would not go for the bright orange or anything really untoward in the design, but other than that, I'm totally on board.
We're not planning on painting it bright orange.
I understand.
Is Bill, are you still on?
I am indeed on. I am having bandwidth problems here, so I shut off the video.
Okay,
I
thanks.
have no questions.
Catherine or Dennis, any comments?
Nothing I can add. Nope. I was there this morning. Seems perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kristen made a great point of just sort of like looking at the angles from the street, and I was not able to get to the site this morning, but I trust my fellow commissioners, and if people are confident that the arborvitae are in fact going to provide adequate screening, then I'm good with it as well.
And I believe, Anne or Mr. Young, correct me if I'm wrong, that the existing arborvitae that provide the majority of the screening is currently not, it wasn't put in specifically as part of any previous work. So we would be designating that as existing screening to become HDC required screening, correct?
Correct, yes.
And then also including the 3 new arborvitae that you're proposing to add. So we need to note that that's part of the approval, that the existing arborvitae planting that runs parallel to Lexington Road is part of this approval. You're in
Yes,
agreement?
that's correct. And I believe, and Gail's here, you can correct me, but I believe that the existing screening is comprised of 4 arborvitaes. And then the new one is 3 additional, total of 7.
Okay.
Tim, it's Bill. Just a question you triggered there is, do we stipulate a minimum height at planting of those arborvitae? Because if they're a foot tall when they're planted, I'm being ridiculous, but if they're a foot tall when they're planted, it doesn't satisfy the screening criteria.
Yeah, I have the
So
same.
I think, yeah, somebody,
I stipulated in the addition that I submitted this morning that the trees would be a sufficient height and sufficient number to completely obscure the sauna as viewed from the sidewalk.
Great. Thank you very much. That's
I live right down the street and I battle the height of arborvitaes every year because they grow 1.5 feet a year, as everyone knows. So, anyway, and also just as a side comment, I think the design of the buildings is really quite nice. I know this is just, even if the buildings were slightly visible, I think they're colored dark, they're simple in form, they appear appropriate to me, although that seems to be not an issue at the moment. But I just want to say that I think they look very nice. Okay, so would
I just
somebody
have,
like to? Yes.
two small points about arborvitae and all. One, at site this morning, I was concerned about the older tree that doesn't show on the site plan that's directly behind them. So I just put in my 2 cents once again to please make sure that that is done sympathetically and doesn't just take out that tree. That's one of the golden rules of what we do in approvals is not eliminate trees. So that's just more.
The Norway maple?
What's that?
Is it a Norway maple?
It is not a Norway. No. Something I think that Lewis may have figured out what it is with a leaf ID, but it's elegant,
Walter,
but it is elderly.
You're saying I just kind of missed that. You're saying to preserve that tree in the process of adding the 3 new trees.
There's a blacktop driveway that runs on one side, which is already covering up a fair amount of the roots. And if these arborvitae are put in that position, they're going to be into the root ball area of an existing tree that's there.
We plan to address that by using a combination of hand digging and using an air spade. We won't use an excavator to dig those holes, so we'll do it in a way that will protect the true roots of the existing tree.
Yeah, and then that tree will have a friend in its root system.
Yep.
The way it works. The other thing, when I was there this morning after I left, I realized that we're putting arborvitae in there. Are those going to be obscuring the view coming out of the neighbor's driveway there, or is there plenty of room?
It's back far enough. It's
Okay.
back probably a car length from
Okay. It just occurred to me, so that might be something that would be a surprise if it hadn't been considered. Okay, I'm finished. Thank you.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll move we approve the plan as submitted for 201 Lexington Road, with the stipulation that existing arborvitae are incorporated in the screening language.
Second. Louis, second. Walter,
Aye.
for voting.
Yes.
Catherine,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
and myself, I'm an aye. I think that's 5, correct? Did I miss anybody? Catherine, Bill, Dennis, Walter, myself. Okay. So that passes, Mr. Young. Thank you very much for your attentiveness to this, and good luck with the project.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, on to new business, new hearings. First one is 55 Church Street and 1267 Main Street in the Church Street Historic District. Town of Concord, represented by Ms. Hudell, I hope I pronounced that right, to reconfigure the parking lot. I'll turn it over to you.
I'm Samikshya, Senior Town Engineer for Town of Concord, and I'm here to present the project at 55 Church Street and Harvey Miller Building.
It's not, can you change your microphone? It's hard to hear you.
Very hard to hear. It's
It's
muffled.
Is it better?
That's better.
Better.
Yeah, thank you.
I was just saying, I was just introducing myself. I'm a Senior Town Engineer for Concord, and I'm working on redoing the parking lot at 55 Church Street and Harvey Miller Building. I had provided introduction to the project in July of 30th SDC meeting, and I'm here to present. We have a full plan and ready for construction, and I'm here to just present the project as of right now. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. She can share a screen, right?
I,
We've just made you a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen.
Nothing yet.
which way?
And maybe you should,
Right.
could you do it?
So Sammy, I have some of the, oh, here it is. Great.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You can still see my screen, right? Okay, so this is the project location that you can see on the screen. It's parking lot between 55 Church Street and Harvey Miller parking lot. Just to give the background information, we have been planning on repaving the lot, and while doing so, we wanted to improve the lot usability, safety, and functionality to better support the users of the lot. And we started looking at it and redesigning it. This is the image that you see in the screen right now is from the near map dated July 30, 2025, which shows the parking lot's deteriorated condition. And the concern that we have with this lot is that snow removal would be difficult if the parking lot is not repaved this year. And that is why we started thinking about it and then collaborating with the others to get their input regarding the design or any issues that they have regarding the parking lot. These are the pictures that you can see of the existing lot. One of the main thing that we noticed is that we have the ADA parking spaces, but we don't have access access ramp to the park, to the sidewalk, so you would have to, the wheelchair would have to go through the driveway to get into the sidewalk, so we are improving that within the parking lot. We also realize that there is no connection between the 55 Church Street and Harvey Wheeler building. You will have to be walking through the parking lot, so we're providing a access aisle between those two buildings. Other than that, we're also including landscaping improvements, so the shade trees to improve comfort and aesthetics of this lot. And one of the main concern brought up by the abutters of the lots were that the safety concerns, as the lot is mostly used by Council on Aging and the Children's Center over here and the youth theater. So we also are providing the raised crosswalk. And the idea, our thought process behind it is to reduce the speed of the vehicles on that lot and provide the better crosswalk. So all of these pictures show the existing parking lot condition. One more additional thing is that there's a dumpster located at this corner in this lot, and with the conversation with like the facilities manager, it is being relocated closer to the Harvey Wheeler building, just considering the safety during the winter season. This is the proposed parking lot. The layout of the parking lot is not changing a whole lot, but we're adding green spaces as much as we can. Since this lot is being used by the parents of the kids and Council of Aging, even though it's one-way parking, we're still maintaining 24-foot wide driveway just because of the uses, people who are using this parking lot frequently. We're adding the trees on the islands, which is not there at the moment. And then this is the new dumpster area location, and it will be screened with the vegetation all around it. And this is the raised cross section. You see the red hatching, and I provided the hatching so it's like easy visible. And which is raised, and then the ramp goes down less than 8% slope. So it'll be like a little bit of bump, but gradual bump. And we are adding the ramps over here, and all these sections to provide the access for the ADA parking. And we're improving the sidewalk at the intersection, providing a crosswalk right there as well.
If I can just ask a quick question on that site plan, is the white area, I assume that will still be repaved, is that right?
Yes, we're not redoing the parking lot, but if needed, it will be not repaved, repainted. The condition of this lot is okay as of right now, and that is why it's not being repaved at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
And this would be the crossing that I'm proposing. And we would have like the signage on the bollard so that the vehicles couldn't destroy the signage in the parking lot. And just the example of this is within the town of Concord, Walden and Main Street locations.
And lighting, how is that being handled? Is anything changing?
The lighting, the poles are being relocated, but the lighting of the lot is not being changed at the moment. It's functioning well. The other thing I wanted to say is we're proposing the flagpole location right here, and on the plans, you will see the fire flagpole location and EV charging station, which is a future projects, but we would be doing the underground conduit run so that the parking lot doesn't have to be tore down in case the EV charging stations are to be put in the lot.
And I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said on the lighting. Did you say the poles are being moved or staying?
It's being slightly adjusted. It's not being removed or moved a little bit.
Okay, same number of poles, some slight,
Same lighting,
So-
just relocation based on the
yeah,
adjust-
okay. Anything else?
all questions. We added like the pickup drop-off location at the Highway Road building. We also added the sign, we'll be repainting it to drop off only, because as of right now, it is there, but it's not being utilized. And the vehicles are blocking the road, so we're planning to repaint this section to say drop off.
Okay. Thank you. Questions from the commission?
It's Bill. I guess I'll start maybe with an observation that our guidelines don't really address commercial parking lots. So I'm not exactly sure where to start. I think the light fixture, light pole question is in fact the only thing where the guidelines may directly apply. And so I guess my question is, are the fixtures already dark sky compliant, or do you envision changing the fixtures when you move the poles?
Dark sky compliant. We're not planning on changing the fixtures right now.
I'm sorry, I missed your answer in the first part. Are they or are they not dark sky compliant already?
I'll have to confirm, but I think it is dark sky compliant. Lighting in this area.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, obviously making this parking lot look clean is a huge improvement. While we're at it, if the fixtures aren't dark sky compliant, it strikes me as a convenient time to fix that.
I just
then
had a
second,
question.
I'm sorry, second question, just out of curiosity, my sense is there's a lot more tree coverage, for lack of a better word. Is that accurate? There's more trees than there are existing?
Yes,
That's
we are proposing trees
terrific.
in existing. Yeah, there's no trees at the moment. I think
No.
this is one that was planted this
Okay.
year.
Thank you.
My question just was, do we see this whole parking lot from a right of way? I'm just curious. I've been in it and I don't remember seeing it from every angle.
You don't see it easily. Kind of.
So we need to rule on something we don't see?
You don't, I mean, I'm presenting this project because it is within the historic district, but
Oh, sure, Dennis, surely you can see it from the public way.
Well, you can see parts of it. You can see the entrance ramp, but
Yeah,
you can't
there
see,
on the left.
but you can't see the whole thing.
No, but
The Wheeler Center's in front of it in one angle and a
Yeah.
church in another. You can't see this parking lot.
But it's
Depending on Church
public
Street.
land.
yeah,
Isn't
from
it
Church
public
Street you
land?
can.
Yeah.
Which is why the effect of the lighting is the thing that we should be concerned about. Because that would be visible.
And
Is
it-
one block off Church Street part of the historic district? I actually don't know.
isn't this public land, Sammy?
yeah, it's a town-owned property.
It's town-owned property. So all of it would be visible from a public way and place, because it is a public place,
Yeah.
right?
I think what you were commenting is that it's not visible when you're driving through, because it's kind of at the height as well. But it is a public place and used by largely used property.
Well, I think the point is it is a parking lot. It's not very visible. There's a lot of improvement going on. That's I would agree with all three comments.
Hmm.
Unless, are there any other comments?
I would just add that, yeah, all of these improvements seem both necessary and very timely at this point, so
Yes.
I definitely would be in support of the improvements.
Uh,
And the
Would you
only
like to-
question I have is, where does the snow go?
Out.
we have no snow anymore, Walter.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't snow anymore,
Never mind.
just hurricanes.
Sound is not changing, so I think the snow would probably be stored in this area as they do.
You're changing your dumpster position over to there, right?
Dumpster is being located right here, but then this area would be free.
Okay, would
Just an observation.
Thank you.
someone like to make a motion?
I could make a motion. I move that we approve the town of Concord's proposal to reconfigure the parking lot of 55 Church Street with the condition that all lighting be dark light compliant.
Well, you're not replacing the lighting, Sammy, correct? You're just, I
Yeah.
don't know if we want to put that on this project.
Well, I guess it's Bill, my view is if they're moving the lights, that's tantamount to installing new lighting. And I think if that's the case, it ought to be compliant to the current standards.
Sammy,
No,
can you confirm if it is dark sky? I mean, they're obviously pointing down, so but I don't know if they comply.
They look compliant.
Look, to your point, they look like they are, but
Yeah, they look like they're compliant.
I've never been back there.
wait a few years.
Or can we stipulate that the ones that are being relocated should be dark sky compliant, but not require the existing ones to be?
We can say any additional fixtures must be dark sky compliant, and that every effort will be made to make existing compliant.
I don't think Sammy, you're not adding new fixtures, right? You're just moving a few, if I understand you.
It's secondary that we would need by the- because
So they're relocating a few existing, but they're not adding any new ones.
Yes, no?
Well,
I don't feel that strongly. From looking at them, they look like they're okay. But
yeah, I mean, they're certainly, they're all pointed down, they're not pointed out.
okay,
I would recommend we approve as is, given the nature of these fixtures and how little they're being moved. Right here.
Do you need a
Can we
sec-
try it? Is that a comment?
Do you need a second?
I think we do.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. All right, Bill, Catherine,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Walter,
Aye.
and I am am an I as well, so Sammy, you were approved. Good luck with the project. It looks like a great improvement. Okay. We are at 1 Sudbury Road, Main Street Historic District, to install a fence along the side of the property. Do we have someone here presenting that?
Yes, good evening. This is Liam Paspan. I'm owner of 1 Sudbury Road. Kim, I don't know if you have a chance to share the materials or I can, either way.
We have seen the materials, but it's good for you to walk through the materials with us one more time if you could.
Of course. Yes. I was just wondering about the sharing. So the proposed fence will be on the right-hand side of the property along Sudbury Road. It is a Chestnut Hill style picket fence of 3 feet in height and 186 feet in length. You'll see on the second image here, the red marker strike is the path of the fence along the property line.
Well, as you look at the property, it's the street, the fence we're looking at existing that parallels Sudbury Road, and then your new fence is perpendicular on the right-hand side, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. That's
Thank
you. The sections of the fence are, I believe, 2-inch pickets with 2-inch spaces between pickets to match the sections along Sudbury Road of the existing fence. And that's about it. And so obviously cedar, natural coloring.
So to weather gray like the existing fence, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. It'll weather over time to approximate the color of the fence up front. That's right.
And it's if you could just go back to the site plan just quickly, it's that one straight shot of that straight line of site plan. It doesn't go further than the arrow, correct?
That's correct.
Right. Okay. Anything else, or is that it?
That's all I have for the HTC, other than appreciation for your consideration and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I'll open it up to Commissioner questions.
I have none.
I'm hearing nothing, which is a good sign for the.
I'm sympathetically all in favor.
Are there any comments before I open it up for a motion?
Could I see
Public
the,
comment?
Oh, thank you, Walter. Kristen, yes.
yeah, I was hoping to see the picture of the new fence again.
Thank you.
It looks like the horizontal bars are different, or is that just because there's vegetation at the bottom? Yeah, it looks like the existing is a little,
A little chunkier, a little higher.
yeah, has more width to it. Are they actually the same fence?
They are chosen to be similar. I do not believe they are precisely the same fence.
The posts are different as well, so it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obviously the posts on Sudbury Road are stone, so these are not.
Given the amount of fencing, which is quite a bit, actually, I don't think it would be objectionable to have these fences slightly different and
Yeah, I agree.
rather than the whole same fence running all the way around.
I
Yeah,
agree. And it has a certain order to it. The more formal fence in the front with a stone post, and then you get to one that's sort of a more minor fence as you go back. I think it
Right,
nice order.
right, little less wood, little less granite,
Right.
no granite.
Yep.
The less horizontal beams, bars.
Yeah. It's the same height, Liam, is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
And Liam, is the intention to let the cedar just weather naturally to like a nice soft gray over time?
Yes, that is the intention.
And if you did want to speed up the process, there are products that can be applied that speed up the weathering and gray it out quicker. I don't know exactly what it is off the top of my head, but such things do exist.
One season.
Mm.
It's that snow again.
We don't want to really accelerate aging. I've had enough of that.
You got a Harvey Wheeler then.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Public comment?
Thank you, Walter. I keep forgetting. Public comment. Any public comments? Okay, since there are no public comments, could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. We approve 1 Sudbury Lane as submitted.
Second?
Second.
Voting, Dennis,
Aye.
Walter,
Aye.
Catherine,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and I am an aye as well. Thank you very much for coming and submitting, and good luck with the fence.
Thank you for your consideration. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, the next one is 18 Cambridge Turnpike, a dear old friend of Concord, for removal of an existing chimney. Who will be presenting that at Ralph Waldo Emerson's house?
I'm gonna be presenting that.
Yes, hi, Greg. Go ahead.
So this is a existing chimney. I believe there are photos from 1876 that show the property without this chimney. But it's in disrepair right now. And it is non-functional. So the intent is gonna be to remove the chimney and not rebuild it. And as we
At
can
one
see in this
time, I
picture
just-
here,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's not there.
You know what the date of that is, that photo?
I think it is roughly around 1876.
There's the chimney now, correct?
Yep.
And the date of that photo?
I am unsure of the date of that photo.
The notes from Ann says it seems that the chimney post dates Emerson's death of 1882, but predates 1909, when the last Emerson to live in the house died. So it's somewhere in that range, according to Ann's work. So this is a tricky one. This is we appreciate the fact that the chimney is faltering and no longer in use, but it is in an historic era of Emerson's. May not be Ralph Waldo Emerson, but it's obviously a lesser chimney of all the chimneys. It's not a chimney of the main house, but I will open it up to Commissioner thoughts.
I mean, I'm curious, I know there was an addition to the house after the original. Is there a fireplace attached to this chimney in any way?
This chimney is not in use. It was serving as a flue for a heating system, but it's no longer active in any manner.
But is there an associated fireplace?
Not in the rear wing.
So not with that chimney.
Correct.
Could have been a coal chimney at one point, perhaps. Cooking stove chimney. There's no, there's no historic structures report on there's very little research on the site and house, so, it's a
And
bit
this comes-
difficult to pinpoint some of this stuff.
Right, and this comes up repeatedly regarding this property, right? That we don't know. So I actually have a question. In the documents for the meeting, there was a reference at the end to a grant that was given to this property, is that correct? Am I wrong yet?
That is correct, from the 1772 foundation.
And what's the nature of that grant?
It is a grant through the state, I believe, that is caps out at $10,000. And there's certain criteria that needs to be followed, and they were hoping to utilize money from that grant to repair the chimney. In finding a picture from 1876, we believe they realized the chimney wasn't there, and instead of rebuilding it, they would like to decommission it entirely.
So the grant was to do the work of taking out the chimney, not for research.
Correct. It was for the chimney now is in disrepair, so it was, the intent was to rebuild it. Upon finding photos showing the chimney not there, it was then decided to remove it in its entirety. There's also some money that's going to go to regular maintenance and upkeep of painting and rot repair on the rear wing.
Yeah, so who made the decision just to take it down?
That was done by the Ralph Waldo Emerson Association.
Okay, without, I'm just curious, but without the benefit of research and any deeper research into that.
I think it was based on the photographs and the condition of it, and that was a decision based on the association.
Okay.
I think the basic question here. Go ahead. I was gonna say, I think the basic question here is whether is simply whether we think this chimney is important enough to keep or not. I think it's very obvious that it wasn't there in Emerson's time, but was there in family members' time. So I think we have to sort of decide what's important, and whether keeping this as part of the history of the house is important or not. I have to admit I'm tossed up on this. I have no strong opinion either way. So I could get Vince to go either way.
Greg, does that chimney, is the removal of the chimney critical from an interior point of view, or is it really just the fact that the exterior is failing and tilting and all that freeze thaw business? Does it have any impact if it's taken down on the inside of the house?
It does not. It's really an issue of safety right now.
So is the inside stable, the inside masonry, as far as anyone knows?
As far as we know, yeah, and that would be all contained within stud walls. So it would really require interior demo to view.
Right. I mean, usually all that tilting is, freeze thaw on the sunny side. Water gets in, water freezes, and it just all the chimneys tilt north. I think this one's tilting north. I don't know, but it's not a big chimney to replace. If we decide, we're dealing with an 8-foot chimney, 16 inches square or whatever it is. It's not like we're dealing with a major house chimney. I'm just being respectful of Ellen Emerson's situation and, you know, all that. I'm also like Dennis, I'm a little bit torn as to whether, you know, I see the house without the chimney and it looks nice without the, you know, I think the chimney is visually helping the house, purely a visual thing, but there's a piece of history there. But is the history, are we really just trying to deal with Ralph Waldo Emerson's history or later family history?
I think we're
So it's,
in a little bit of a position of sort of almost arbitrarily trying to assign which period of history is most important or significant. And so I think I personally would draw back to more of the origin story of the house without that chimney. And to your point, Tim, I don't think aesthetically it's that particular chimney is terribly additive. So to me, we kind of distill this conversation down to you know, what is both practical and a good choice for the homeowner, and also what makes sense from you know, an historical point of view, and you know, harking back to an important period of history and the older period of history for this structure.
I think in terms of the historic preservation aspects of rebuilding the chimney, that it becomes a pastiche of a chimney that was once used. It's no longer functional and it's just standing there as.
Right, as a symbol of what once was.
Exactly. And I don't know that I can condone that.
And it's been documented. I mean, it's documented that it's there. So even if it goes away, you know, it could be replaced at some point if someone wanted to do it. And we now know it for historical reasons. But I sort of take Catherine's point of view on this. Because she was taking mine, so I guess I have to take hers.
Well, and if I may, I'll sort of take both of yours to a degree. I mean, there's two questions. One, for safety, does it have to come down? I think that's pretty obvious. So yes, you know, it comes down. Question then is, does it go back up? And it's possible that there is a compromise if the fundamentals of the chimney aren't removed and don't have to be removed, and it's documented, then take it down. It's safe. There's no requirement historically, you know, 50-50 to rebuild it at this point, but I would suggest keeping the option available for the future and not taking out all the understructure.
I would agree. And keep a brick while you're at it or two, so you know what it was built out of.
Roll them over to the museum. They can put them on display.
yeah,
You just stick all the bricks in the back corner of the property and then rebuild it again.
yeah, I mean, the reality is rebuilding it is probably new brick for the most part, because the old brick's gonna be in crappy condition. So you put up a new chimney to replicate an old failing chimney of questionable historic value. Bill, I haven't heard from you. Any comments?
I'm in agreement with where we're converging.
Do you want someone to make a motion?
Yeah. Dennis, please make a motion.
I move that we allow this chimney to be taken down because it's well documented. But I would seriously save a brick or two in case at some point they ever wanted to reinstitute if they know what the brick looked like that they were using.
I'll second that.
And that the existing understructure not be removed if it doesn't have to be.
In order to allow future reconstruction.
Exactly.
Right.
Good.
Greg, you okay with that?
Sounds good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, so we'll
We
need a
haven't said
vote.
yes,
In
yeah.
public comment.
Public comments. Thank you.
I never could remember public comments.
Yeah, clearly I don't.
Yeah.
Well, this is obviously a hot public topic. We will, now, there are no public comments, so we will have a vote. Walter?
We need a second. Do we have a second?
Yep, I
I
second.
thought we did.
Oh,
I
did
did.
you? Okay, sorry, wasn't paying attention.
Okay, we're clear on what we're voting on. Everybody understands?
You know, just for, hey, Dennis, could you just repeat the motion again? Because there were a couple of ads, and if you could just
Well,
state
if
that
I can
again.
remember all the ads. What's the number of this? I need to quote the number. I don't have it in front of me for
18.
18 Cambridge. Turnpike.
18 Cambridge Turnpike.
I move that the application 18 Cambridge Turnpike be approved as submitted to allow the taking down of the chimney with, I think, 2 caveats. One, that they save a couple of bricks so they know what it was made out of. And secondly, that the internal be maintained so that at a future date they could construct the chimney. Does that cover it?
That sounds great. Thank you. Second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Walter?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I am as well. Thank you, Greg, for coming in.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Remove
Next
it.
item is Masonic Corporation, 58 Monument Square, to remove an air hood and install one window in that existing opening. Is there someone here to present that?
Yep. Doug Ellis is here for that.
Hi, Doug. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Go ahead.
All right. Anne, do you have the any of the pictures ready, the materials originally, just to
Yes.
they-
Let's see.
if it's not fresh in everyone's mind?
Wait a second.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. All right. Awesome. So as is, you can see there's a rather rusted, dilapidated, 104-year-old air intake hood down by the dining room, with the existing dining room. So this summer, the dining room is undergoing some major renovations. We've had water infiltration for the last 100 years. That's compromised the wooden floor that was below it. So this summer we removed all the asbestos flooring that was on top of the 50-year-old asbestos, which was on top of the 100-year-old hardwood. So all that's gone. Concrete below that was gone. And in the process, we took out some air handling that was never, ever, ever used. So we're proposing to put in, just replace it with a normal window that matches all of the other windows. I have found a supplier. Marvin Window can make exactly this window that we're looking at here. It's wooden. We'll paint it white, matches all the other windows in the building. So simple enough. There we go. Thank you, Anne. You're quick.
And Doug, is there, I think you had a sort of a close-up view elevation of the hood plus the new window going in that somewhere on a drawing.
I don't think it was a close-up of the new one because
Well, I guess my question is, it looked like the hood is, what kind of masonry opening do you have when you put the window in? Is it the size of the hood, or is it? How big?
it's roughly the size of the hood. It's 37 inches wide and 34.5 inches tall.
So I'm wondering about the casing of the window. Is it really gonna, as you scroll down one photo, is the casing gonna kind of match the window above in terms of dimension, the trim around the window?
That's the intention.
Okay.
That's what I'm going for with the with what I'm asking for from Marvin Windows. I want to make sure we get the right sizes.
Yeah. Okay.
I want it to match as much as possible.
And you got, looks like simulated lighted lights and all that business, wood window, correct?
Yep.
Marvin,
Just
Yeah,
curious, was the hood original to that part of the building when it was built,
Yes.
or was there a window there that the hood
Nope, there was never a window there. When they put that in, I think they were trying to go with swamp cooling, believe it or not. Because they've got this elaborate system of these air ducts that just go from there and they just kind of go straight up the center of the building. And the only thing we can figure that they do, because they don't go into anything. The only thing we could imagine is it was just for some ventilation and to go. It's never worked for us. There is a fan, you can pull the fan, but the fan just kind of sucks air up into the attic. So
I'll
we're
add,
trying to
I
get
think
rid of that.
the window looks great and much, I've always thought that hood was ugly, I have to say.
Yeah.
You've noticed?
I have noticed. I
Okay.
noticed those things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we moved the trash cans to the back of the building too. Thank you very much.
Any other comments? Questions?
Have you considered planting an arborvitae?
No, but we were thinking of putting the sauna right behind it.
Yeah.
Walter, that better be a joke.
Yes, it's a job. I'm sorry, yes. I walked by on Saturday and I noticed the hood there too. I'm all in favor of the window.
Cool.
Any public comments? There are no public comments. Could we have a motion, please?
I move we approve 58 Monument Street as submitted.
Second. Thank you, Catherine. Take a vote. Walter,
Aye.
Dennis,
Hi.
Catherine,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and I am an aye as well. Thanks, Doug, for coming in and presenting.
Thank you.
I must say the front elevation of that building is unbelievably handsome.
Thank you.
That
I agree. It
that
really
is
is.
just a classic
Yeah,
proportions. It's beautifully done.
I'm very proud of that building, and it's now part of the Wednesday town tour because I give that tour, and I'm starting a Masonic tour for Saturday, so it'll be open to the public then too. So.
And before you go, Doug, do you have a date for when that actually was put in?
We're looking for contractors now to do the remainder of the work.
No,
so-
I'm sorry, for when the hood had been installed historically.
Oh, it would have been 1921.
Yeah. Oh, and
That whole addition in the back was
and
1921.
part of the mystery perhaps of having air moving through there was that was also heavy flu time, right? Spanish flu was just
Yeah,
so there's an awful lot of work being done on ventilating buildings and
yeah.
things at that point. So that may be part of what was
Could be.
going on. Just saying.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Doug. Moving on to the next one, 170 Barrett's Mill Road, presented by Betsy Russa of ESK. It's in the Barrett Farm Historic District to extend an existing dormer.
Yes,
Uh,
hello.
Hello,
Betsy Rosa with DSK Architects here in Concord, and joining me tonight is Alexander Turner, one of the homeowners at 170 Barrett's Mill Road. And as you can see from the drawings, we're requesting the extension of an existing dormer on the back north side of the house, away from the street. And this house is a cape from 1955. And while we're on a very historic street, this one came along a lot later. The front of the house has had several things done by the previous owners. I believe the box bay that's next to the garage. And Anne, can you share these drawings? I'm not set up to share them.
Yes, here we go.
Okay, thank you. So what she's got first here. Yeah, so that the box bay is actually hidden in this view that you see. Maybe you can scroll up so I can see the photo too. So this is the existing house from one corner of Barrett's Mill Road. There's a lot of planting in the front yard, it's very handsome. And so that little window that you see on the side, we're talking about replacing to make it the egress window. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you can see this is up a little taller than a person would be walking along, but this shows the corner of the dormer. We're extending the dormer just about 5 feet, and we're going to hold it back from the edge of the roof about 2 feet. So you still read the cape silhouette. And this is it from the rear. And if you show the photo, maybe for just a second longer, you can see there's the existing dormer, and then we're extending it out a little bit, and it's the darker lines on this image at the bottom.
You're not extending the other end of that dormer on the other side of the ridge,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, just that one.
Just that one, yeah. Okay, so it's the egress window at the gable and that dormer extension of 5
Yes,
feet.
yeah, since we'd like to use the double hungs in the dormer, they don't comply with the egress code. So we'd like to switch out the double hung on the side for a casement window that would meet the egress requirements and in the same size, same opening, same location.
That
You also
dormer,
know, oh, sorry.
excuse me, I'm just gonna say that dormer is, even the extension is just about invisible from the road.
No.
Yeah. You'll also note on the drawings, and if you scroll the other way, there's a plan. We're asking for, okay, yeah, slow down. Okay, this is the front, keep going, please. So the outdoor shower there, we're not going to do that. So you can ignore that part, but we're asking for a door on that side and, you have to go to the plans too. Do you have plans? Submitted plans.
Let me see.
There we go.
The plans we have show the shower.
Yes, so we're not gonna do the shower, but we'd like to do this door on the side that leads into the garage. And again, it'll be hard to see from the road.
Picky question, but do you have an elevation of that side or not?
I think there was one. If not, there was a photo. I'm not sure I submitted an elevation, but I think I have photos of what you would see from the street.
Just a door, right? There's no.
Yes, just a door. I can send you an elevation for sure, but
And is it a solid core blank door? What is it?
so it would, yes, it should be in here. It's not a bathtub, but the windows just, and this is the upside down, that door is upside down. So there we go. So it's a Therma-Tru, which looks like wood, but is not, since this is in an exposed location. We wanted to do a door that would be last as opposed to weathering too quickly. But with a solid, the flat surface, it doesn't look like an aluminum fiberglass door. And it would be glass like as shown there.
Anything else, or is that it?
That's it for me. Do you have a question?
Thank you for bringing all that work in for not a very big impact project, but we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Comments?
Looks fine.
Looks fine.
No objections.
Any public comments? I think we need a motion.
I'll move we approve 170 Barrett's Mill Road, omitting the shower from the submission, but otherwise as submitted.
Thank you, Bill. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Catherine. Walter?
Aye.
Dennis? Catherine?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I am an aye as well. Thank you very much, Betsy, for the thorough presentation.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for your votes. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
The next one is 34 Main Street. Main Street Historic District to remove. Oh, never mind, this has been removed.
To remove the submission.
This has been removed, to remove the submission. That's been approved to remove the submission. Okay. Our last one for the evening.
Sorry, Tim.
Yes.
I guess someone needs to make a motion to, let me see if I get this right, to accept the withdrawal with no prejudice, and then that needs to be seconded and voted upon.
All right, would someone move to accept the withdrawal with no prejudice for 34 Main Street?
I so move.
Second.
Second, Somebody said second?
Yeah,
Thank you,
Bill.
Catherine. Okay, we'll vote on that. Do we need public comment? Any public comments? I hear none. Walter?
Aye.
Dennis? Catherine?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
I'm an aye as well, and that passes. Last project for tonight. Interesting project, 398 Main Street, the Main Street Historic District. At the corner, right at the intersection of Elm and Main Street, to remove a sunroom and porch and replace with a new addition. And also demolish an existing small garage and construct a new garage. And add a new exterior door and surround, and the new garage includes finished space above. And who do we have presenting that tonight?
Good evening, everyone. Abby Flanagan, 398 Main Street. I am the homeowner and applicant, and Elise Stone, our architect, is also here to answer questions. And I'm happy to see some of my fellow former HDC commissioners this evening. It's nice to see you. So for those of you who aren't familiar, 398 Main Street is the Julius M. Smith House. It's from 1864. As the chair said, it's right at the intersection of Main and Elm. We're the house right in the triangle. So we have a large frontage on Main and a large frontage on Elm, and then the back of the house faces two other homes. The house is a Second Empire style house. Traditional hallmarks of the Second Empire. It has a mansard roof, the large windows. The primary residence is largely intact, except for a later addition that we're proposing to remove. These are photos taken from various spots along Main Street and along Elm Street. My husband and I, with our 3 small kids, have lived there for about 10 years, and we've come before the HDC for 1 or 2 small projects before, changing some exterior lighting, a slightly visible swing set in the backyard. And now we're hoping to undertake a more significant renovation. The project has kind of 3 primary components to it. The first is the removal of a sunroom. So there was a sunroom added to the house in the early 90s. And it really has the hallmarks of kind of early 90s architecture.
1990s.
Yes, 1990s. I apologize. Yes, 1990s, not anything earlier than that. It has a deck with PVC posts and composite decking. It has some sliders that are clad in aluminum. It has some truly terrible skylights. All of these materials are starting to fail. The deck is collapsing in one area. The skylights are starting to leak. So it's time for us to do something. And rather than repair and replace, what we're hoping to do is remove that sunroom addition, which really feels anachronistic and not in keeping with kind of either the style of the house or also the quality of the rest of the house. We'd like to, yes, so that's highlighted section there. We'd like to remove that and the deck. In the same footprint of the sunroom, we would like to add on kind of what we're calling a breakfast room. So we'll have a similarly pitched roof. It'll have some windows that reference some of the ground floor windows on the primary structure. So bring in some nice natural light. We're not increasing the roof line there or the footprint. Part of that is the second piece of the project, which is right now there's an exterior door in the sunroom that leads to the driveway side. We'd like to relocate that door about 3 feet over so it comes into our mudroom. All of the materials for this will match existing. It'll be clapboard. The windows will match existing. The colors will match existing. In terms of exterior lighting, we're proposing one recessed light in the overhang over the new door. The new breakfast room will also have 2, in my opinion, really lovely French doors. They're kind of 75% French doors that will open out to the small landing and steps down to the backyard. Over that overhang, there'll be another single recessed light. So not a lot of exterior lighting that we're adding. The final piece is the bigger piece of kind of the equation is a new 2-car garage. So right now there is an existing 1-car garage. It's not a historically significant structure. It's got asphalt shingles. It's got a concrete slab. It's uninsulated. And it, to be frank, just doesn't fit a modern car. So what we're proposing to do is to demolish that structure and add in its place, build a 2-car garage that has finished office space for my husband up above. The brief that I gave to Elise when we were talking about the design for this was, what's the smallest footprint we can put this in? I wanted to maintain a visual separation between the garage and the primary structure. I wanted the garage to be subservient to the primary structure, both in scale and massing. And so we managed to build something, or propose building something that's pretty tight for 2 modern cars, but we're okay with that. And then we're proposing this design in part because the mansard roof allows us to have maximal usable space upstairs while maintaining a lower ridgeline. The current existing ridgeline is about 16.5 feet. The proposed is 21.5 feet. So we're not building way up, even though the house is 3 stories and is quite tall. I also like the fact that it references and reflects the primary structure, but doesn't exactly replicate. We were very nervous about building a diminutive Disney World style miniature of the house. But this actually just has some elements that harken to the primary structure, but don't directly duplicate. So it's got the mansard roof, it's got some dormers. It'll have a door that will match some existing. The only exterior lighting on this is a recessed light above the door. The current structure right now has a truly hideous and horrendous giant floodlight. I'd like to eliminate that. Commission seems to love arborvitaes. We have lots of arborvitaes screening this right now. We have some big existing ones on the Elm Street side. We have a row of them along the driveway. Between our neighbors, the Kleinards, who are right next door. They've submitted a letter of support because our garages right now are quite close. And that's kind of the general gist of it. The nice thing about this property is, despite its prominent location, because of the amount of screening, one that we've added over the years, and that was pre-existing, and the fact that we have 22 town trees on the property, there's actually pretty limited sightlines to this. It's not particularly visible from Elm Street. There's kind of one stretch where you can kind of catch a glimpse. And then from Main Street, you really have to hit sort of the end of the driveway that faces the garage to really see it. And it's a little bit visible coming from the boathouse side of Main Street. The back, the sunroom to breakfast room change, minimal sightlines. And what's not reflected on the elevations here is there's actually quite a big U that blocks the new door leading to the driveway side. So we've done our best to kind of keep it small, keep it appropriate. And so we're excited about the opportunity to do something like this. This is really a house that we intend staying in for quite a long time and consider ourselves kind of stewards of. So I'm happy to answer any questions that people might have about the house, about the addition, about the changes. So yeah.
Thank you, Abby. Nice presentation. Comments, questions from the commission?
The only immediate question I had is the width of the new garage structure, Abby, as compared to the original.
So Elise, do you have that shift in width? Oh, sorry, you're muted, Elise.
Sorry, let me just check the width of the existing, but the new one is 27 feet. Kind of your standard kind of garage is 24 by 24 to get 2, of today's cars in. This one actually, we went down to 23. So because the other 4 feet between the width of the walls are the stairs going to the second floor. So I really am not comfortable making it that much narrower, or it's not going to fit 2 cars. The depth is the 24 feet. Again, 24 by 24 is generally considered kind of a standard 2-car garage, today's world. I believe the existing, if you just hold on a minute, I can look quickly. I believe it's maybe 15 feet. It's 16 feet. The current. Yeah, 16.3.
From the photos, it looked like there was a lot of space between the existing garage and the house.
There's not too much, no. I mean, we're going in front of the ZBA tomorrow because it's non-conforming on the left side. And we'd love to be able to shift it over, but we just wouldn't have enough room. So we're kind of continuing the non-conformity on that left side.
And it's tricky. We contemplated kind of what are the tricks could we move it? Could we relocate it? And every time we looked at moving it or relocating it, it either meant clear cutting very mature, substantial trees or dramatically increasing the impervious surface. Like we could move it further into the backyard, but that meant, yards more of asphalt or removing significant trees. So we're kind of stuck with the location. And it's also nice because our neighbors who submitted a letter of support for our application, the Kleinards and then the Vons on the other side, all three garages are kind of tucked together. And so it makes they're shielded a little bit, they're screened a little bit, and they're all kind of tucked in close. So they're less visible when you're looking at the kind of the facades of these historic homes.
Yeah, that
Go ahead, Lisa.
I just want to reiterate that point. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just saying if there's other comments.
No, I just wanted to reiterate that point. I mean, we did look very closely at placing this garage any other place it could go, but we didn't want to suddenly turn the driveway onto Elm Street. That would have opened up much more visibility from there. And it is, in our mind, important to keep those three garages together, the Vons and the neighbors. And we didn't want to increase the driveway. So we were kind of locked into that location.
Am I correct? The driveway is not really changing except the fact you have to widen it to deal with the two doors?
Yeah, we widen it a little bit, but because we're also bringing the front of the garage forward, the net increase is minimal. So we bring the front of the garage forward a little bit, we bring it over a little bit, so we're actually not increasing impervious surface. And I will say that I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old, so we spend lots of time basketball and bikes and all the rest. We'll eventually chip seal that driveway when my kids aren't using it as a blacktop playground, just for the attractiveness of it. But for right now, unfortunately, we're kind of stuck with that.
Yeah, I would agree that your garage is not overly generous for a garage.
Elise will say, she kept being like, "Are you sure your cars are going to fit?" And I was like, "We'll get smaller cars."
I think you've done all the right moves to keep it compact, and making it any smaller would be pretty tough, I think.
It would make it kind of impractical in terms of use. But the nice thing is the house, given the height and the kind of overall character of it, it can take, I think, this size of a garage. Any bigger, though, starts to feel a bit, I don't know, troubling to me.
Well, and just to talk again about the mansard roof, we had endless discussions. I did other elevations as if it was a gable roof. And the bottom line is the gable roof had to be pretty steep and kind of high so that the shed dormers wouldn't appear too flat. And those almost were just really seemed to fight with the house more. So we felt like the mansard, to Abby's point, gave us the most headroom without putting too many dormers on it. So
I think that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say a lot of things, are just blink reactions, but the garage looks appropriate to me, to my architect's eyes. It's like the right scale, the right size. The mansard is, brings the whole house down because half the building is mansard, which is nice. It doesn't mimic the existing house. I think your placement of those dormers looks great. It's obvious, I can tell you very carefully considered them on every facade. I have one little design question I have to ask. And this is a minor one, but whatever that corner is, as you face the,
Yeah,
it's where the stair comes to the top of the
Exactly.
landing.
yeah.
There's a little bit of, it seems to me, unresolved roof. You've got every other facade worked out, and then there's this headroom. I think you're struggling with headroom on a stair.
And we are. That's
And
exactly.
I'm just wondering if is there any, could you start the stair earlier and have the door of the stair move towards the street, or I don't know what, but that's the one thing. And
Yeah,
but when
we-
I thought about it, I thought, what I like about everything you've done is it's not there's a quirkiness to it. So I kind of lumped that quirk into the charm of the quirkiness, but you did it was a very considered quirkiness. So I know that there's nothing arbitrary here, but
No, at least
that-
certainly that was a conversation we had, and we looked at, could we flip it to the other side? Could we try this? Could we move the door forward? We tried, and finally, I think Elise convinced me to, as you said, kind of embrace what I call the higgledy-piggledy nature of it, of that there's a
Yeah, I
couple
know,
spots in
it's-
this house
it's-
that feel like that, and so like we're just embracing it because there's not really a good alternative solution. The nice thing too is behind that garage there's a substantial amount of evergreen screening that kind of covers that, because I had this concern.
And could you circle, it's the lower middle elevation, the
Yeah.
upper left corner, right there.
And
That's the quirk, if you will. But
yes,
all the other dormers sort of lock that roof in, and the overall mansard locks it in. So I just, in my own mind, said that's the nature of this whole complex. So
yes, and I did look at that elevation. We looked at putting kind of the fake mansard, but I really disliked that because it was kind of a fake. So the thing is, we looked at different ways of doing the stairs, but unfortunately, even pulling the stairs forward, I really didn't like that look on the front. And we are also, it does get pretty close to the house there. So I felt like it was more important to feel like that was going backwards and that the backyard, because really this elevation, you'll be hard pressed to see from a public way of anything. You might see
Yeah.
the back one a little bit maybe from Elm Street, but I mean, I took walks along Elm Street, and just because they have it so heavily screened already, I just couldn't even get a visual. So yes, I decided to embrace the difference of it as opposed to try to force something that wasn't,
yeah, and just one other comment, and again, this is minor comments, but if you could take that window, that bump, the stair bump, as one thought, and just treat it as a different thing rather than sort of folding into the same roof and all that. There's just this quirky corner window form that's eccentric to all the mansard. That's my architectural critic comment. You can take with a grain of salt, but this is minutia, I think, in the scheme of thing. I think overall you've done a great job.
oh, thank you.
Are there other comments?
Do you have any paint color in mind?
It
A
will
reason?
be existing. So I believe the color is dried basil or basil, sorry, my English roots, dried basil for the body. And then I think the actual door color is black, believe it or not. And all of these colors are in the HDC files from 2 previous owners ago.
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I'm
it'll
just asking
match,
because-
it'll match existing.
Yeah, because my thought on it was that if it does not exactly match existing, that it helps differentiate. My concern would be that you are mansarding on a mansard property, and that it has a lot of touch points to the existing. And if the color were subtly different, it would help differentiate that it was new and not part of the old.
The
again,
good
very
news
mi-
is
very
the
minor part.
primary is aged enough that it probably will look different when it's painted. So it'll probably be one square different, just
Well,
because of the aging.
Yeah, I had a house where the existing carriage house had been cut off, moved over to the neighbor's property, and we had a bad Sears kit garage that we inherited when we bought the place. But I always threatened to paint it exactly the same colors as our house, so it looked like we owned theirs as compensation. That's
Just
all I have. Looks great.
another question is, these appear to be, and I don't know if this is the intent, but they appear to be schematic level drawings. I don't know how you view them, but we're gonna need exterior details. I think it's not gonna suffice to say, well, it just kind of matches the existing house, given the nature of the house. So we will need to have some review of construction documents level, roof, the whole bit, products and all that.
We're happy to submit any additional documentation. As you said, we kind of came with initial elevations and schematics so that we could
Okay, right.
rather than spend a lot of time and money in Elisa's
Yes,
before.
absolutely. Understood. That's good.
And I will also say that some of this too is, I'm sure you've encountered this with other applications, but we had to put the garage doors out to bid to like 7 different places because between the tariffs and availability and imports, you're not always sure what you're going to be able to get. So we're, making sure that we have options available.
Yeah. Understood. Other commissioner comments at this stage? Bill?
Nope.
Dennis? You're muted, Dennis, somehow. Doesn't show you muted, but you're muted.
I think the design is nice and how it, of the garage, just how it speaks to the house at large, but also to the neighborhood, where the houses on Elm Street directly behind you have similar kinds of garages and with the office on top. And
yeah, that
so
was interesting as we walked around. We did kind of a walk around the neighborhood, and what I find interesting is that our stretch of Elm Street, kind of upper Main Street, you see a lot of these kind of 2-car kind of carriage house style structures. Further closer to town, I think when the lots are a little bit smaller, you see some single car. There's 1 or 2 kind of outliers, what we affectionately refer to as the Garage Mahal at 350 Main Street, which is like a 3-car, very large structure. There's 1 or 2 historic structures, particularly on the other side of Main Street. But our neighbors, the Vaughns, have a similar structure, the Austins on Elm Street, the Gibbs on Elm Street. So this is not kind of anachronistic to the neighborhood. So.
Yeah, no, there's definitely been some accessory structures that are bigger than the house practically, which is too bad. I think your efforts to keep it small are terrific. Dennis, sorry, can we hear you?
I finally unmuted.
Yes.
Just barely.
I was going to say, I think it's a great project, and I particularly like the new, I guess you call it a breakfast room. It's much improved from what is there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I look forward to removing the kind of 1992 style sunroom. At one point, I guess it had a hot tub in it. It hasn't since we've lived there, but it was like a jungle room at one point. So I think it's ready to be retired.
On that note, any other comments or any public comments?
Yeah.
No public left, if there were any. Do we have a motion?
Well, I have a question. Tim, you were asking
Yep.
about greater detail on plans and all. If
Yep.
what are we actually approving and voting on when we vote on this at this stage for clarification?
And we, I guess, Abby and Elise, sometimes when you use the term schematics, it's vague,
Yeah.
but when you say preliminary, these are preliminary, it's a preliminary design we're approving, is that okay?
I think it's kind of concept.
Yeah, I mean,
Concept?
although it's,
design. And we can come back with, you know, if you want a specific cut sheet for the garage door, a specific
Yeah.
cut sheet for this and that, we're happy to
Lighting.
come back. Yeah, I mean, the lighting is all gonna be simple recessed fixtures, so that's pretty standard, but we're happy to come back with that. If we can leave this evening with an approval of kind of the overall design, in part because when we go to the ZBA, it would be helpful to have that. And also as we delve into like the full detailed construction drawings.
So why don't we call it concept? We approve the concept design if you're okay with that.
Yeah, Elise, does that give you enough to?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I
And
mean,
you,
you
and
know,
you
you would,
understanding you'll be back with the details as
With
you.
all the kelvins and the whole rigmarole of every
Yeah.
light bulb
yeah,
and knob and
yeah,
all that.
yeah, we'll come back with all the materials.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, most of it, to Abby's point, is it'll be chasing kind of what was there. The windows will match the house, you know, that's there. A lot of those windows have been replaced. They're very nice windows, so we're gonna,
Mhm.
yeah, so we'll come back with all that. But if you say concept design, that would be great.
Okay. Walter, you want to make a motion based on that?
Sure. I move that we approve the application of 398 Main Street as on a conceptual schematic level, with the expectation that we will have more detailed plans and information submitted as it becomes available and evolves. How's that?
Sounds good. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Catherine and Bill. We'll take a vote.
Thank you.
Walter,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Catherine,
Aye.
and I'm an I as well. Thank you very much, Abby and Elise, for that very nice design and presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, now we can start drinking.
I thought one of us already had.
I don't think there's any other. And there's no other business, right?
That's right. No other business.
I move we adjourn.
A second.
I'll second.
All in favor, raise your hands.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.